Hello, 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 chaps. It's turn 64, and this is a screenshot of my inventory shortly after the start of the turn when I ungeared all the Dione that were on laboratories and decided to re-gear them from the beginning. You can just see how much gear I have. Just an awful lot of it. And some of it isn't very good, like the smashers and so on. But we've got loads of boots, which is nice, loads of good armours, loads of stuff. The only thing we did fall short a bit of was the amulets of anti-magic and the demon masks. It's just great to have more magic resistance. So anyway, that's enough of that. Now to load up the game. There we are. And the game. Right, here we are. Turn 64. And overall it was a good one. You can see that the army Machaka sent north here has now been completely wiped out, apart from a few of the giants which escaped. But so the main thing I did was I caught all of his surviving forces up here, and I killed a couple of giants as well. He's raiding down here as well, though, which is annoying. Took these 3 provinces, or maybe he took these 2 and maintained his hold on this one. I can't remember. And then over here, Rus took Exebothia finally, and he somehow managed to lose 2 Rusian wizards. And he still hasn't attacked me here. I've taken this province back off him, and he killed my temple here with air elementals, with this ritual. I looked this ritual up, and it's 9 air gems, and it requires an air 3 astral 2 mage to cast. So he does have a lot of air gems. He has an awful lot of air gems. So he can do this quite a lot, but I don't know how cost effective it really is. I'll be able to rebuild the occasional temple, and by simply allowing my forces to accumulate in these provinces, I will actually have enough people lying around to actually defeat these attacks, which will be nice, just with PD and by not frenetically collecting them. Like, I was going to collect these 4 demons, now I'm not going to. I'm just going to let them build up, and they should be able to fight some of these forces off. It's just not the worst thing in the world, because I can just retake the province next turn. Anyhow, let's jump into how we hunted down Machaka's army up here. So this battle in Panofia was just against some PD, nothing there. Ophalef on this fortress, he had 2 Buddhas and some Lion Warriors. It's nice to get rid of the Lion Warriors, but the Buddhas, like I keep saying, are not very expensive. So this is not an amazingly interesting battle. We got some mediocre loot out of it. Spring Spires was just 1 point of PD that I took it off, and the real battle was in Carmia. So what he had here was 15 Lion Warriors, this guy, both ungeared. He had this, which is a fully geared giant, and this is the Nethgul. And once again, the Nethgul managed to mentally enslave a Dione. And it was, I think it was this guy? Yeah, this guy. And he then runs off the field. I don't see him on the on the map afterwards. Like, none of the scouting reports mention a Dione. So I think he may have actually died during the retreat. I think he was actually at 17 when he retreated, or 19. So he may have died, but if he hasn't, then he's going to slink off back to Machaka and be Gift of Reasoned. Now, the other thing, what else happened? Well, also the Nethgul carrier escaped from this battle, but everything else got annihilated. My gambit with the water elementals worked very, very well, but now to actually show you the battle. So the PD gets dumpstered by the Lion Warriors, but then the water elementals just totally annihilate these Lion Warriors. And they just disappeared. So I think at this point... Is this our guy? Yeah, this is our guy, but I think this guy... Yeah, you can see how he's not displaying... This is what a commander screen looks like. He's not displaying as a commander anymore because he got dominated. He's actually attacking us here. So we turn around and whack him. And unfortunately he manages to escape. He routs. And he's now on 16 morale. So he could definitely have died during the rout. Then this guy is just ungeared, so he dies instantly to these water elementals. Then what we have left is my Pretender God taking on these two. And this is the one we really care about. He's now blind. Unfortunately, he escapes this one. Then you have this guy, and he takes ages to die, even after we chop off both of his arms with this. There the Nethgul goes, escaping. Interestingly, this little gadget with Overcharged, it actually affects these water elementals very well. So this guy actually is able to stand toe-to-toe with water elementals, and even kills them with the acid spray from his helmet, which, by the way, we looted. So this guy is tanking our attacks with this, and which I don't really understand quite how he's able to tank them. And he's destroying and resisting these water elementals, and this guy, even with 2 high damage attacks, it actually takes them forever to finally kill this guy. And I'm not going to play the whole battle because it takes so long, but he does die. Only the Nethgul carrier and possibly the Dione escaped from that. Everything else was a loss. So that's the second Dione that he's enslaved. And this may be where the Dione fled to. I don't think... Or he might be in here or here. I just don't know. Dione are smaller than these, so they might not show up in the scouting report. Masafumi, just before he got dominated, he found this. So this is his legacy. What was the other battle? Did any other battle occur? Not really. We raided this one with some Kooni. Somehow it was actually the troll that actually routed from this. I don't know quite how that ended up being the case, but he did rout. Did he even die? Yeah, no, he's in this province now. Anyhow, so Rus just continues to be a bit non-serious. Like this is one province defense, and he hasn't taken it back. And I think these scouting reports are bullshit because of his globals, like Fata Morgana and Whispering Winds. But even so, he is building stuff up, and he's just not using it. And like you have all of these elementals, and you just use them to harass me. Like, so I don't feel too worried about Rus. And I would actually move all of these troops into this province and try and have a nice big battle against him this turn, because I think he's quite likely to attack here. But I don't know what Pelagia is doing. Pelagia might have heard from Atlantis that I took this province off Atlantis. So Pelagia might see me as an invasion threat, which I think is incorrect, but he might see me as that. So he might be planning on actually joining Machaka and Rus and attacking me. So in that case, I want to play it safe. I want to play it cautious. I don't know why he has all of these troops here. Maybe he's also shaping up to attack Rus. This is Rus, it's just misnamed because of the global. So, I'm moving into these provinces with these guys, and I'm moving into this province with a fully geared Dione, and into this one with just this guy, little Shugo, only Shugo. Raiding this guy with just an adventure who will retreat if anyone is there to oppose her. And raiding this one with just another Dione, not actually contesting this province, which is very cucked and pathetic, so I definitely should, really. And the reason I'm not is because I'm not moving this army this turn. And the reason I'm not moving this army this turn is because with the loss of the Ring of Wizardry, I can't actually... If this guy dies, I actually just lose my high-level air access. I just lose it. Unless I salvage his helmet, but I can't afford for this guy to die. So what I've done is I'm staying here one more turn to just contact Raijin. Now Raijin is basically the upgraded version of this. It's a bigger air mage with some fancy shit added on. But he's an air mage, that's the point. It's a unique summon. So once I've summoned him, Raijin will go back into this province or something to be safe, and the army can continue. Now the other thing that I did from waiting this turn, last turn, was manage to re-gear these guys, which is nice. And I think I reinforced them a bit as well. So there's quite a lot of people here. 951 siege strength. Oh goodness. Oh, only 430 people though. It's not like the 1,000-strong army that once defeated Hinnom going this way. Anyhow, another thing that... So I'm forging some miscellaneous items as well. And I'm also cloud trapezing these two guys. And they have exactly the same paths and exactly the same gear. So I guess it doesn't matter which one you look at. So they've got flesh eaters, they can go berserk, they've got some fear from being Dione, they've got ore, they've got a lot of magic resistance, because they're wearing 3 magic resistance items. And just to top it off, they're wearing quickness boots to do more damage and get better attack and defense skill. And they're also wearing the reinvigoration items just to try and keep up with quickness. You don't want to end up fatiguing yourself out because you're too fast. And they're cloud trapezing on top of this province because the guy who is carrying the Nethgul, which is the mind enslaving item that auto-casts astral spells, is Okang. And Okang, the transformed giant, is right here. So if I cloud trapeze both of these guys in with huge magic resistance, they should be able to take them out. And then I'm also attacking the province with just the usual guys from Carmia, as well as a couple of guys from here, just to make sure that if this army moves into here, my 2 cloud trapezes won't get screwed over later on in the turn, or just something. I don't really know. It's also just a generic raid. Speaking of which, generic raids, I don't know. I feel like he will have a giant here next turn, and I don't have a geared Dione ready. All of my Dione are kind of busy doing other things. Like, this guy needs to be with the army so that he can... so that he can cast Petrify. And Petrify is important just because it'll allow us, hopefully, to hit the transformed giants. I feel like if I move too many of these Dione away from this army, the army will just get eaten by a transformed giant. And another thing that happened last turn was I didn't raid this province because I'm a pussy bitch idiot, so I should have. And he raided this province, Laria, and he lost another transformed giant here. It's quite a nice battle to show, actually. So in this case, I had the 2 Hanyas right at the front of our side of the battle map. So they cast 2 hordes of skeletons, and then they're scripted to do Banefire next. So they miss the first 2 times. Then they miss again. And this guy has 106 HP. This turn they actually hit him. They both hit him, and they bring him down to 17 HP, just like that. And then he routs. And this guy did not have swimming or water breathing, so he didn't have anywhere he could actually retreat to, so he died. So that's nice. So we took down 1 giant there, and we took down a transformed dragon, I think, in a previous turn, and then in this battle we took down 2 transformed giants. So it's nice that he's starting to lose things. If he got both of these Dione, if that Dione didn't die in the retreat, he will eventually be able to gain 2 Dione from casting Gift of Reason on them. So he hasn't actually lost that much in terms of elite mages so far, but he did lose Buddhas. He has lost 90 Lion Warriors, and he lost a lot of clockwork stuff and some miscellaneous stuff like Sacred Lions. And just look at the map. I rebuffed his attack. I have an army positioned here. I'm starting to counter his thugs. So he may be fighting me more efficiently, but I think I have more resources. I'm bigger. I have more territory, more gems, more guys. So I still might be winning this overall. This was a pretty good turn. And it's annoying that Rus now is raiding my provinces with this. Pretty effective. But I can weather that storm too. It's not that terrible. The last thing that remains to be mentioned this turn is that I just realised something, which is, while I was actually recording this video a few minutes back, is I'm forging a crap ton. A literal crap ton of items in this game. And I am not forging them with dwarven hammers. And I have loads of earth gems. And I don't have loads of other gem types. So really, dwarven hammers are a fairly important part of the game. I think people overrate them a little bit, but they are quite an important part of the game. And I have just ignored them, even in a game where I have a surplus of earth gems and not enough of the other types. And it's just really dumb. It's just really dumb that I haven't been using dwarven hammers. So now I'm going to be using dwarven hammers. I've just, right in front of your very eyes, decided to forge some. I'm also going to make a lightless lantern here and there. Also, yeah, I'm trying to expand my research capabilities because it's only at 700. And Enchantment 7 will be very nice. I don't think Enchantment 6, which I got this turn, is important. Nothing here stands out to me. But 7, This is an incredible global. I think it's fantastic. I definitely want it. This could be nice. It increases order scale, which is bad for me, but it might be nice just to cast on my capital to get more income from it, and cast on Hinnom as well. That might be nice. I might consider that. Not really. But anyway, Mass Flight is the most important one. Absolutely vital spell. Terror of the Heavens is moderately important. I don't really have enough fire gems to make sure I can keep it up against opposition from other players, but I'm interested in it in the future. It's a very good one. All of these effects, I mean, the temple checks aren't so important, I have plenty of those, but 500 gold, incredible, and unrest reduction, incredible stuff. Just great stuff. Nothing else here looks amazing. And then the real big one is, maybe this would actually be good, but the real big one is getting Fire Fend. And also Weapons of Shiva would be good. The caster, so a Dione will be able, all my Dione can cast this, and then they have armor negating attacks. So they will just trounce any opposition in terms of thug battles, I reckon. The only thing that could threaten them is if the enemy actually starts to use the triple modifier anti-demon weapons, which thankfully Machaka has not been using so far. And there was something else in enchantment that I was excited about. What was it? I didn't see anything. Thunderfend would be kind of nice too. Anyway, my next priority will be Construction 7, just for golems. Where are they? Golems. Yeah, here they are. I have 1 or 2 people who can cast this. Maybe 3 with those indie mages. Herect Altar of Sacrifice. So Rus had Construction 7 ages ago, so that's quite funny. The next one after that will just be Blood, just so that my Blood Hunters can cast Leech. Leech will just shut down thug raiding on blood hunting pretty nicely. So that is the end of this turn. I don't think there's anything I missed out, and I'll see you chaps next time. Hello, hello, hello. This is turn 65. So I sold 25 death gems to Cetus and 10 nature gems to Cetus, because like I mentioned, I heard that Cetus was fighting and had lost a battle, and Cetus had a big fortress here, so his main provinces are probably down here. I don't really know, because I know Atlantis has holdings here, and this is Ulm's capital, so Cetus must be down here. And is very big, so we want to support Cetus against and so in exchange I'm getting air gems and fire gems, so that's pretty good. And he can summon Immortal Death 4 mages with that, so that's pretty nice. Next thing I did was empower this guy. Second empowerment only costs 30 blood slaves, so it's fairly affordable. And then, yeah, once he empowers himself, he'll be up to blood 3 with this, and then he can forge the this booster, which I can put on the water mages to cast Foul Vapors. Do I have one? Yeah, I've got one here actually. Why is she moving that direction? Maybe she... Yeah, I'm going to leave her moving that direction. And this guy is empowerment. So I cast Cloud Trapeze with those 2 Dione, and that resulted in this battle. So there's the Dione that has been mentally enslaved and is fleeing. Here's the guy with the Nethgul, who is blind and can't fight for shit. Now the funny thing about this guy's buff script is he actually completely knocked himself permanently unconscious. So he started off with neutral fire resistance, then he cast Strength of Gaia, bringing himself down to -5. Then he went Body Ethereal, so Temper Flesh brought him back up to neutral fire resistance. Then Phoenix Pyre doesn't have any effect on fire resistance. And then he cast Body of Flames, and the funny thing about Body of Flames is it gives you Heat Aura and Fire Shield, but it actually doesn't give you fire resistance. So this guy is standing in Heat Aura with no fire resistance, and that means he is constantly gaining fatigue, and he completely knocks himself unconscious. So he's now on 140 fatigue. He went from 75 to 140 in the blink of an eye. Now he's actually down to 133, which is surprising. Now he's on 128. So when you're unconscious, I guess you gain extra reinvigoration. But he's still knocked unconscious for quite a long time. And now he just gets chunked Now he's back up to 150. I don't really understand these calculations. But because he's unconscious, Phoenix Pyre can't work, he can't run away, and he dies, and the Nethgul goes with him because we had no slots to pick it up with. There you are. No Phoenix Pyre because he's too tired. Dunster. So Rus summoned 2 sets of air elementals into these provinces, costing him 18 gems. And I should actually be moving someone into this province to reclaim it. So that's pretty, you know, it's good that he did that there instead of costing us more gold by killing our temples further inland. So I'm just going to keep on reclaiming them. It's not really a huge issue when he does it there. Also, Machaka's raider ran into the air elementals, which is fun. Yeah, that's the battle I just talked about. We summoned Raijin, so now this army can move forward while Raijin, the Chad big air mage, runs back home as our backup. And in fact, we will soon have enough air gems to summon another one of these little guys. So we can have consistent access to air mages and fog warriors and mass flight. It's just quite expensive. Actually, I might try to obtain mass flight before I have to fight Pelagia or even Rus. Actually, I think I can kill Rus's army before then, but in 2 turns' time, or 3 turns so I can script it, I will have mass flight. And that will allow a nice big horde of Koani to jump on the enemy army before they can properly script or buff, which will be good. I summoned a Revenant. I'm trying to expand this research force because 754. It's getting to feel really slow. Death Gem income got completely hoovered up by Dione with the gems to cast darkness and stuff. But we'll fill up again and conduct more trades with Cetus. I can buy some Moonvine bracelets from him. So, Blightlands. Yeah, these other battles are just PD raiding. So the Dione that fled from here, then fled into Rame here, and he fled from that battle as well. I think he went here, because I can't see him in this province. He's smaller than the transformed dragons, so he's probably here. He may have died, but with 20 morale, that's unlikely. Battle in Blue Water. So yeah, this is just a bunch of reclamations. Basically, Machaka has decided he doesn't like losing people, and he knows that his guys can't fight my Dione 1 versus 1. So he's deathballing it up in here, which is not a good play, but he probably doesn't really have a choice. So we'll see. I mean, I'm saying it's not a good play. It's nothing I haven't done this game. But and maybe he will win when this army meets this army. So I will have my Pretend God and all of these big geared Dione and not actually that many demons. Although these are all big demons, bigger than Koani. More morale, more damage. That's a lot of damage. All of the buffs too, including anti-magic and fog warriors. How many times have I said that phrase without actually casting it yet? Anyway, so we got some events. This one here requires us to build a laboratory to pursue it further. I don't know what it does. And this is still a war zone, so that's not happening. We lost this laboratory, but we didn't have the gold to recruit these guys anyway, so it doesn't matter. I had quite a bit of spare gold this turn, but I funneled it into building temples here, here, and here, rebuilding this one. And even, no, I didn't have the gold to build one here. But I can build one here, I can build one here when I reclaim it. This place is going to be reduced to no income for quite a long time. But eventually I can draw it down again. Maybe I'll patrol with the guys that don't cause unrest, if any of them don't. Now, these guys cause unrest too, so maybe I'll even summon some wolves for once to reduce unrest. Once this guy can forge the nature boosters, I don't know if I just mentioned this, but the death blood booster, we can put that on with thistle maces on these guys, and then they can cast foul vapors without dying and losing the ring of wizardry. So that'll be good. Blood slave income, still looking decent. Is this guy full? No, he can still blood hunt a bit longer. I mean, this isn't a proper blood hunting setup. I should really be summoning wolves and shit to patrol and all of that, but it's just, to be honest, it's just too much effort. And it's more investment into something that I view as kind of casual. And also gold, like who cares, honestly. I'll just leave the capitals unhunted and hopefully get some gold eventually from here and from Dropnir, and I will get some gold from the underwater provinces. I just can't be bothered. Maybe I should set up some hunting, but the problem is, in my last game as Lanka that I put on this channel, my my Solus chaff just kept on getting killed by raiders, and it was very annoying. So, and they were free. It's different if you're spending loads of nature gems on them. So this keeps on happening. I don't really know why, but I'm not going to complain. I guess I should complain because I have a healer and I have some disease healing as well. But whatever. I guess at least these guys are benefiting from it, actually. The survivors of the attack on Rus. Oh yeah, so Rus, that's the next thing to talk about. Rus's army has advanced, and I didn't oppose them. So I just have PD. They somehow had some losses in this battle, but fairly minor ones. So let's just look. I actually haven't been able to find where his Troll King is standing. Does he even have his Troll King here? But he doesn't have boosters on this woman or on this guy or on this one. So he basically doesn't have any magic boosters here. I guess he can do a communion, and he also has a couple of air gems. That's basically the only air gems he has. Also, he has loads of alquils. Like, I don't know what the story is here. Maybe when I do fight him, I should try and pick up loads of alquils. It would be pretty nice to get alquils and put them on researchers underwater. Maybe I actually will. I'll have this guy patrol, and then he can stay behind troops in hopes that he'll actually... Wait, where is this? So he's here. So if he attacks me here, he won't run into anything. He'll just take the province for free. If he attacks me here, then he'll run into your standard army with darkness and a whole bunch of demons. And so if he attacks me here, we'll have loads of people to pick up these juicy alquils. If he attacks me here, he's just going to run into these guys and this guy, who doesn't have very good protection, but his MR and his defense skill and his lightning and his ore should see him through, as well as the regen from the bless. If he attacks me here, he'll get in the way of Pelagia. It looks like Pelagia is going to attack me. I would comment on that, but I just don't know what his army has, so I'll find out next turn, I guess, when he moves here. Or even he could move here, actually, which would be amusing. I think I could do a two-province move from here to back to here to defend against him if he attacks me there, which would be fun. Or I could move along these roads, actually. Anyhow. So yeah, Rus, I don't really take this seriously. Like, where's your big boosters? What's with the alquils? Feels like he got bored of researching or something. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe he's given up on the game a bit, which is odd, because yeah, he may be very small, but he has a lot of things to play with. It looks like his Fata Morgana got dispelled. Oh dear. Maybe I shouldn't be supporting Cetus. Considering Dominion score can easily be up to 10, like, this isn't up to 200. This almost triples your income, potentially. Or doubles it. It reliably doubles your income. So, I'll think twice about supporting Cetus very heavily in future. Maybe I've made a mistake. A dire portent. Yeah, he put this up this turn. Anyhow, Machaka. So, yeah, Machaka is shrinking back. We'll see what he pulls out next turn. We'll see what the divine mummies that he has are all about, as well as the disease demons. Not sure about those guys. We got all of our troll kings and stuff. But the two cloud trapezes are going to... Where are they? Yeah, these two are going to move back onto the laboratory so that they can cloud trapeze some more. I should probably raid this province. It just feels a bit unnecessarily risky. No province, no gold is more valuable than a Dione. However much gold I can make, I can still only train one Dione every 2 turns. And that's about it for this turn. I can't think what else is happening. Well, I'm forging a whole bunch of items again. I forgot to forge enough armor this time. I guess I could also do with some more boots. Where do I have an idle Naminari? I actually don't have an idle Naminari. She's a bit idle. I can put some more boots there. So, yeah, that's about it. I'm using the Dwarven Hammers. Not much else to report. So that's turn 65. Hello, 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 chaps. It's turn 66, and there was only one big battle this turn, which was in Henwood against Rus, and it went basically as I expected. I killed half of his force, and then the remaining half ran away, and because these guys have low morale, and they only had one province to retreat to, I think about half of them will have died, so half of the mages, that is. So he has about 120 troops and 20 mages left in this province. Not a serious force now, and it wasn't to begin with, to be brutally honest. What else is there to mention? Well, has another global come up? No. So he might attack me here, or here again, or here, or whatever. Also, Pelagia has attacked me, but unfortunately I lost this province to Rus's air elementals before they then got killed by Pelagia. So I actually don't know what Pelagia has brought, which is very annoying. I really wanted to know. So that means that I'm not willing to oppose them in this province, not properly anyway. So anyway, if Rus now decides to attack this province, he'll run into my prophet, as well as his personal healer, who will be sneaking around nearby to give him this shield if she can reattach his arm. If he attacks this province, well, I'm not actually defending it properly, so that'll be annoying. But I'll probably just cloud trapeze in the two heir to Dione. If he attacks this province, he'll get munched again in exactly the same way, because everyone's moved patrolling onto it. And if he attacks this one, well, he's here, so he's not going to. Pelagia. So if Pelagia attacks here, he'll get munched. If he attacks here, I don't care. If he attacks here, he'll hopefully get gem burned, because he'll have this Dione here. And then the Dione will retreat using his 19 morale. Kind of a bit risky. You could actually get killed doing that. But he'll have lots of provinces to retreat into, so he should be safe. I'm going to take that risk. Whatever. Actually, you know what? I'm going to script him to actually fight. Maybe. I don't have any proper armor lying around. Whatever. I'm worried that he might have loads of water elementals, so that's why I'm not willing to fight him with just a Dione. And I'm just sending the Dione in the hopes that he'll get gem burned. He might go on to this province, though. I think he probably will. Who knows? So that's those two players. I suspect that Pelagia is actually just trying to get rid of loads of trash troops that he's fed up for paying maintenance on. Then there's Machaka. None of these battles are important. They're just against PD and a scout that pinged this province before dying because there was nowhere to retreat to. So no real battles against Machaka. I'm sending only a scout here to ping this province and see what he has ready for me. He has divine mummies. I think this is the guys that died before he's resurrected them in a new form. I'm just going to see what happens. I'm not going to look it up in the inspector or anything. So I don't know if my army will beat his, so I'm not going to attack it. I'm going to attack here instead. Now, he might move everyone onto this province instead, but I think if I do lose the battle, probably most of my demons will escape anyway, or he'll have terrible losses or something. I don't know, really. I think it should be okay. I'm willing to take the risk. He might finally have started... actually, this is a bit of an issue that I have, which is he might finally start making these weapons. Where are they? Yeah, this weapon, which is, of course, extremely damaging against demons, and it has high attack and 2 attacks, and bonus against shields, and all the rest of it. So it has -2 to defense, so it's actually quite easy to repel those guys. So repel is once again very good. But I am a bit worried that you never know when he might suddenly put Holy Scourges on his thugs instead of Frostbrands. So I've pushed Machaka back a lot, but I'm still need to be very cautious around him. I don't want to expand down here, because then I'll just end up having to fight Pelagia and Rus for these provinces anyway, and Atlantis will get even more tempted to attack me as our border increases in size. So that really covers the battles this turn. I could go into more detail. So before attacking Machaka, because Machaka has so much fire magic, I actually want to get this spell, Fire Fend, before I fight him properly, before I really invade him. And that's level 8, so 4,400 research in addition to this will take me about 9 turns. No, 9, 8 turns to get there. 7 or 6 if I can rapidly increase my research. So I'm training 3. I had enough spare gold after this new Dione to train 3 Naminaris and build a temple. So, and I'm also summoning 2 Revenants in this underwater province where they'll hopefully be very safe to research in peace. And I'm making some more lightless lanterns or research imps or whatever else. I'm not making any skull mentors. So 2 Revenants is quite pricey for death gems. Then I'm also putting death gems onto this Dione to fight here. And I think I'm forging a skull mask somewhere. Can't actually remember where all my forges are. Another thing that's happened this turn which is nice is that I'm forging the Armour of Twisting Thorns, which is a nature booster. So in combination with a Thistle Mace, I actually don't have any Thistle Maces lying around in my inventory anymore, which is stupid. I guess this woman has one. She doesn't need that to fight a potential assassin. With a Thistle Mace and the Armour of Twisting Thorns, one of these Yama Ubers can cast Foul Vapours, which will be nice against someone who's not expecting it. So, those are the main things this turn. Also, I'm forging a fairly nice crown. I'm forging this crown. Auto-spell Crown Charm. That's quite nice, potentially. Could charm something valuable, a valuable mage. And I'm doing some site searching up here with my Dione. I'm also using these 3 astral guys to cast Arcane Probing down here. And I've switched my training in this province to the bigger astral mage so that he can gear up and cast Mind Hunt. And the reason I want Mind Hunt is because I suspect that someone is using these guys against me. Outbreak of Disease and Unrest. Now, Machaka could summon those guys, and the reason I think he is because of a very deadly disease is spreading in Urperi and Baypond. So Urperi is down here, which suggests that it's Machaka with a Bane Venom Charm, or maybe one of these guys. If he has this site in his territory as well, he could have that. Or alternatively, it could be a Harvester of Sorrows, or one of the huge demons, but I find that unlikely. And then the other place where this happened is in Baypond, and that's all the way up here. And Baypond also had this effect this turn, this event. I think this is just a coincidence. It's definitely unfortunate to lose a whole province worth of people, but oh well. And because of that, I'm not actually sure if this number was calculated before the event or after the event, so it could be 10% or 5% death rate. And that makes it impossible to really know if it's a Bane Venom Charm, or a cult leader holding a Bane Venom Charm, or a Harvester of Sorrows, or a Demon Lord of some description. So I don't really know what's going on. He also sent an assassin against me, a Disease Demon, in this province. Now, when I tested it out in single player, the Disease Demon didn't show up with my flag on it. It was like a neutral attack, like with Horrors. So I'm not sure why this has Machaka's flag. Maybe when you're the victim of it. And this Naminari wasn't important. She just had an Alquil and a Imp Researcher, so it doesn't matter. But it's annoying that I have an assassin running around. And I think the main thing I should do against these Reapers and Assassins is just ignore them. I don't know if there's anything effective I can do. I don't want to start wasting loads of time and effort and thought and mage turns on chasing these things hopelessly. I will go into mind hunting though, if I think that might work. I could even mind hunt this province this turn with this guy, but he's a bit too valuable to potentially get feeble-minded and have to have this woman scurry over to heal him and all of that. I want to use these guys once they're ready. I'm just going to wait. And we got mind hunted. Now this is what I was hoping for. You resist the mind hunt, you don't get killed. Now, he didn't resist this one. The message is different between these two attacks, but he still survived. And this would make sense if the attack was like level 2 Thaumaturgy and you're getting mind burned. But everyone uses Mind Hunt with Thaumaturgy 5 researched and Soul Slay. And I think what happens is, in Dominions Enhanced, Ghost Form Dione get to keep their items, and Mind Hunt doesn't kill them, it brings them down to Ghost Form. A Dione that gets Mind Hunted just gets thrown into Ghost Form. Now when you lose all of your HP in one go, you are guaranteed to suffer an affliction, and this is Tomokazu, the guy that got Mind Hunted. And I don't remember this affliction on him, so I think that's what happened with that guy. think he got mind hunted and sent into ghost form and then recovered the next turn before I could check. So that's nice. It's nice that he spent all this time trying to mind hunt me. I think Tomokazu was over here last turn. How far could he have moved? I don't want to check. So he spent all that effort mind hunting me and it doesn't even work. The one when it does work, it doesn't even work. Now, another strange thing about this disease demon is that you need blood 5. Like, you need blood magic researched to level 6, and you need a blood 5 caster to send them. And I thought they didn't turn up under your flag. So I don't know, maybe he actually has this guy as a proper unit on the map. So that's why I'm going to patrol with these guys, with Feigamura. Just in case it's an actual permanent unit on the map from a site or an event or something crazy, and I catch it. He probably just has a blood 5. It's also only got 5 cast range, so it must be in this province. I find it very surprising that he has blood. His blast doesn't have any blood in it. So how has he got a blood 5 mage, but hasn't been using flesh eaters or rings of the warrior or anything? I don't know. How have I not noticed this before? And I don't see anything in, like, I don't see random commanders here blood hunting. I guess there are clockwork soldiers. And Bay Pond, the leper, the pop kill in Bay Pond, that could have come from a very fast commander, like a disease, not a disease demon, a harvester of sorrows, the death summon. It could have gone here in one turn and then there the next turn, or with like quickness boots, it could have gone here in one turn to Bay Pond. I don't know why he's bothering with that though. It doesn't seem very impactful, especially since I'm Yomi anyway. I only really care about gems. I mean, I do care about gold, but I don't know. I get a lot of it from giving up and transmuting my fire gems occasionally. So anyhow, I have a huge surplus of blood slaves this time. I collected lots from previous turns. This fort isn't cracked yet. What else is going on? I'm forging a lot of miscellaneous items. I sent these guys over here, which was dumb because now they're in a useless place. So I'm going to send them here along with an astral mage to make sure they don't get mind hunted. And then they can turn up to this battle. I don't want to send the water elemental. Their role in this game is to spam water elementals, and I don't think that's useful against these guys. I think I only really need water elementals against Machaka, so I should have actually kept them with a main army here. I don't know why I changed my mind about that. Some of these Daini are joining the main army that's moving on to Zion, and the others are going, and some of the others are going back here to fight these two guys. Is there anything else that I've forgotten to mention? I don't think so. There's a bit of raiding going on here with air elementals and Koani, but that doesn't really matter. I found a death site here with this guy. Let's just check through the messages. That's the death site I found. Didn't find anything with Harry specs. I'm casting arcane probing on these 3 water sites. I'm not in range of this province, sadly. Events, so mostly pop kill and gold loss, pretty annoying. In fact, all of them were pop kill and gold loss. Over here we are still getting our little gems from here. I don't know why I feel the need to mention that every turn. And this guy escaped from that battle. Yeah, that's about all there is to say for this turn. So I don't know what Pelagia is doing. I know I've got Rus's number, and maybe I'll kill his temple soon and recapture the province. Pelagia's probably just sending trash at me. Machaka, the fact that he's retreated so much suggests that I can beat him, because he thinks he's weaker. But it might also be that he's planning something really vicious. And I don't need to beat him here. I'm already okay. Like, this is miles away from my capital. It doesn't matter if I lose a battle or win a battle here. But this is only 3 steps away from his capital for Machaka. So he is going to go all out in defending this. And we shall have to find out how that goes. Also, this army is actually smaller than his. So it would be quite nice to reinforce it. I should probably spread these guys out a bit more as well. He might just do a load of turn 1 earthquakes actually, but I think having high defense skill like this will protect you quite well. To be honest, I just need more research. 742 isn't good enough. I need more research. Also, I built some temples this turn. I can't remember where though. I think I'm building one here, and I organised some more train monstrum temples. here and there. Blood hunting is starting to really run into problems of there being unrest literally everywhere. Like, is there a single province I have that's actually on 0 right now? This one's underwater. This one's on 0, but it's 2,000 pop. This one's on 17. Wow. Like, there's literally unrest everywhere. Like, this province must have an unrest site in it. Maybe I should send a blood mage over, actually. I might send this guy over to site search. Whatever, don't care. But yeah, everywhere has unrest in it. Like, how does this province have so much unrest? Nothing has happened here, and it has 30 province defense. How does it have 30 province defense? Anyway. Oh, I can recruit someone. I think they're nothing special, though, are they? Yeah, Air 1 majors, doesn't really matter. Turn 66. That's all there is to say. Nothing major has changed. No huge battles are going to happen immediately, but Machaka is building something up. Machaka is getting ready. So, see you chaps next time.